Okay, so for the next key takeaway, the Sacramento Kings. I don't think personally they've been utilising Davion Mitchell since he got there, since he arrived at the organisation. When he did get there, they already had your boy Tyrese, and they also had De'Aaron Fox. And obviously playing behind those two guards, you're not going to have the spotlight like you did at Baylor when you were in that NCAA championship team. He was the star. Like, he had all the tools. I don't think he was ever going to be I hate putting all-star labels because it sounds kind of casual, but I didn't think he would fully adapt to the NBA level as like a star. But I thought he was going to be a valuable six-man volume type scorer in this league. And I thought like a Warriors, him playing behind Steph at the time, that was that really bad Warriors team with like Kelly Oubre. Draymond was there, Clay was out. They just struggled. So I thought Davion there, perfect fit. But overall, my key takeaways, just watching Davion, looks kind of out of place, doesn't shoot the ball heaps. Defense is still there. He's had his moments, but he's also had some really bad games. And I don't think it's fully his fault. I think that his psyche is messed up. Like, it happens all the time. I just think he needs a new team to take him on. And I think, like, I'm going to continue to point to Chicago because nothing is going for them this season. They may as well throw a second rounder at a guy like Davion and just see what they can extract out of him. Because, yeah, like, what else are they going to do? Let DeMar, score 30, or are they going to invest in a young guy for a season? Like, it's the best thing. You still got to lose, still got to get a good pick. You may as well. So, yeah, my key takeaway.
Yeah, I saw that obviously there was a lot of hype around Davion Mitchell, and obviously you can get a bit lost in that as a scout or as a GM by looking at how good someone plays in the tournament. Obviously, we saw with Jordan Hawkins, it definitely bumped his draft stock up this year. But Jordan Hawkins is a different sort of level. He's 6'4". He's the best shooter in the draft. He doesn't need a lot of dribbles to create his own shot. You saw, obviously, most of his shots this year have been on catch and shoots with limited dribbles. And even guys like, I don't know, I'm trying to think of another guy. Dante DiVincenzo, for example, like, had that most outstanding player award.
Jalen Brunson?
No, Brunson wasn't. He was a second round pick. So I'm talking more about guys who raise their stock up by being the most outstanding player, and we can take too much emphasis on that. And obviously with Davion Mitchell being the star of the show in that Final Four run, did we maybe overrate Davion Mitchell based off that Final Four production? At the end of the day, he's a 6-foot guard.
Yeah.
He's really good defensively, don't get me wrong, but again, undersized, trying to guard the best players night in, night out, who are obviously physically more imposing than you, might be a difficult task. I think he's got potential, don't get me wrong. I think he's a really, really solid player, but I just think, the Kings have stunted his growth. And like I said to you the other day, guys that come into the league, the reason why a lot of them become busts is they lose confidence. They have this, they don't come into the league they straight away with the right mindset, or they lose confidence in their ability. It's such a key player in whether somebody ends up being a really effective player going forward in the career, or whether they just go completely downhill. So I think Davion hasn't had the best start. I think obviously he was already a little bit behind in terms of being an older player coming out of the draft. So that was already something that went against him. But I think had he gone to the Warriors, I think the Warriors are really good developers of that kind of talent. Guys who don't necessarily maybe have superstar potential or the ability to become a genuine star in this league, but guys that can play their role and be important players on a championship contender, that play the right way, that play with grit, grind, intensity, and can hit shots when they need to. And I think the Warriors would have been a perfect fit in that situation. But obviously that there's a reason why they didn't pick him, and maybe they probably worked out why. But I still think he can have success in this league, but just for what we've seen so far.
Star in his role type player.
Yeah, correct. But what we've seen so far obviously hasn't been very promising. And like I said, I had high hopes for him as well, but I think that's a question you need to ask. Do we overrate most outstanding player awards come Final Four time, come the championship games in these NCAA.
Just shows
moments.
like NBA situational at the end of the day. Like everybody's replaceable pretty much, and like the picks are made for that direction at the time, but a direction can change in a split second if some other guy breaks out, like Hallie kind of.
Yeah. You look at Derek Lively as well. Like Derek Lively averaged 5 points and 5 boards a game in his freshman season, his only season with Duke. But because Duke plays a certain system, they got a lot of star freshmen, star players that need to obviously share the love. He just played his role, but then they obviously saw what kind of potential he had, and they saw the full array of skills that he did possess, and that's why they picked him so high. It might have been a reach at the time, but obviously we've seen how much it's translated to the NBA game because he's the perfect modern day center. And other guys like
Vernon Carey, the man at Duke, you know? But he goes later, and he's obviously a serviceable guy, but I think he's a free agent right now.
Yeah,
so it's like same system at Duke, a couple years apart, maybe a year or so. Sometimes it's such a hard, like, fine line, like drafting off upside and potential or drafting off ready-made, and production.
Yeah.
But there's no right or wrong. It's just what the team, their situation, and the Kings just,
I think the draft is, like I said, it's a crapshoot, and if you don't fall into the right situation from the get-go, then it can really, hamper your career, and you can just be stuck in basketball purgatory, as they say, and probably not have the best success. But fingers crossed Davion Mitchell can turn it around, because I think he's got a lot of great tools in his game, but obviously hasn't utilised it and shown it. I think he fell out of the rotation only recently, so fingers crossed, something can turn around for him. But at the moment, obviously, it hasn't looked great for Davion Mitchell in his career with the Sacramento Kings.
Hello, yes, you at home. This is Commissioner of the NBA speaking to you, Adam Silver. Here's a message in courtesy of BenchMob in collaboration with the NBA Store. When BenchMob hits 1,000 subscribers, they'll be giving away a free NBA jersey to a lucky subscriber. So just do all the things listed on the screen.